Alright, everybody, it's our Klaus here, and I've got a pretty troubling video for you today. I want to go ahead and take today and do this presentation on what recently happened over in France with the supposed loss of 84 lives here on Bastille Day. Now, I'm not here to debate whether or not there were 84 lives actually lost, if they were crisis actors, I don't know. If people did actually die, my deepest condolences go out to the family members, the loved ones, anybody involved with that. Is very traumatizing event the way they have it laid out. And on the flip side, I don't know if it was all crisis actors and completely orchestrated from the top. Either way, the event happened. It is blanketing the headlines. It's causing further destabilization and division all across the board, whether it be from people not agreeing on whether or not it was real or a hoax, or people on more extreme ideological beliefs, anything to that nature. It is now out there, and that is why these sort of events are planted, and it's always a hodgepodge between when it's completely fabricated and when it's an actual act of some sort of international or domestic terrorism that we would really come to expect from the way that the world is often depicted through the headlines. Now, the reason that I question this is because I was in the middle of working on a whole heap of other research, and I'm going to show you that in hopefully the next week or so here, and it's really going to blow you away. But I hadn't even looked at this France story, and when I pulled it up, and as you saw back here, this delivering ice cream, I mean, we've been talking about ice cream on here, and I'm going to get to that, but there happens to be this Simpsons episode where Homer acquires an ice cream truck, and long story short, he gives the previous owner a heart attack, and in light of his new job, Marge starts making statues out of the popsicle sticks. The whole town becomes infatuated with it. And then towards the end here, Homer, delivering ice cream, if you will, mows over this town of popsicle stick figures and sends the actual people of Springfield running. Now I'm going to talk about this, but this is such an unlikely scenario. An ice cream truck, a crowd of people, masses dead. I mean, this is just unreal. I'm going to talk about these images a little later on here because there is a lot, but I want to keep this as succinct as possible. So this is a very potent video for you. Now, when you're going through these, it's like the South Park line. Simpsons did it. I mean, in every sense of the word. Now, we've been talking about ice cream pretty extensively for the past month here. Now notice this is really a big baseline for it in the new intro for The Simpsons. You have Ralph Wiggum, who has the decapitated head of the fraudulent founder land on him and is then impaled by the ice cream cone to the right eye. Now, I have broken this down in a number of videos, and I highly advise you watch them, and all of this is going to touch on most of what I presented to you in there, as you will see very quickly. But Sal, I'm going to catch you up really quick here before we get into the images from this Simpsons episode. Now, the word ice cream, the phrase, is coded the same as the words abrahadabra and rose. Now this is incredibly important because abrahadabra first appeared in Crowley's Book of the Law. This is the central text for the belief system of Thelema. Now this is an exceptionally important piece. I want you to see here that the word of the aeon, which signifieth the great work accomplished, is how Crowley describes this word. Now take a look on the side over here. For Thelema, the core concepts here, one of them that comes up is the number 93. Now this is an exceptionally important number. It's the key thelemic number for the whole concept of love is the law, all of those notions. But notice I and C from ice cream are the ninth and third letter. giving us that 93, the master thelemic number. Now, this gets even better when you take a look as to why this has changed. You see here Crowley replaced the C in abracadabra with an H, which the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn linked ritually with breath and life, as well as with the god Horus. Now, this just gets even better because ice cream is 8 letters. And the letter H is the 8th letter of the alphabet. And the phrase delivering ice cream has a Jewish value of 1015, and with that is the word written out 156. Now I want you to see this because this is going to come up today. It is the simple value of caution children, and this is actually on the back of Homer's ice cream truck. If you take a look right there, the best shots that I could get for it, but it says caution children 666 as well as 33, and as above so below. Now I'm going to get back to that later because there is still a good amount of ground that I want to be sure to reaffirm with you before I show you how tightly interwoven this is. Now, delivering ice cream also has the same English in simple values as Zesty's pages. Now, the centerpiece for the Pez theory in a lot of ways is the episode Lisa the Iconoclast, was episode 144, and the movie The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. The actor John Wayne plays the character Tom Donovan, who is the man who secretly shoots Liberty Valance behind the scenes, and he has the coding 441, an inversion of episode 144, which is Lisa the Iconoclast, this episode. And this scene right here is Lisa getting ready to reveal the truth about Jebediah Springfield being a fraud. But notice these buildings back here, Zesty's and Pages, and this is an old school Simpsons episode here. And this is obviously a new one. And notice though, they kept Zesty's in this, and this is something I've talked about extensively. But now jump back here though and look at Zesty's Pages though, this 972. You have reference to sun worship, an ideology of hate, the destroyer, to pay the devil, and evil handlers, okay? On and on. Occultic master, very big deal concepts in here. But so again, go back and watch those videos, and let's get back to this though, because I want you to see this number 8 is so absolutely critical to all of these things we've been talking about. House Resolution 642 here, and again, this is in the 114th Congress. Do remember on July 11th was the 114th anniversary of the Pilgrim Society. I'm going to talk about that later. And Trump saying that he is the law and order presidential candidate that same day. But before we get to all of that, do notice in this magic bill, David Copperfield's name pops up 8 times. Now that's a very big deal. And do remember HR 642, when we mirror it, 246 and add it, is 888. This is incredibly important. Now David Copperfield was also Charles Dickens' 8th book. Incredibly important. Please go back and watch my previous videos. And also know that 8 is the adjustment card. Alright, and the immense importance of this. And in reading the Book of Thoth, you will find that it is referenced with the number 31 and its heavy hidden association with the Book of the Law. Okay, and do remember that this alleged terrorist is 31 years old. And as we're going to talk about today, Lana Del Rey, also 31, someone I've talked to you very extensively about. Alright, and so one other bit here I do want to be sure to mention with the ice cream here, and we were talking about this in the Pilgrim Society video, but in the Stonecutters episode, and even just notice here, if we're still just breaking these numbers down, if we take away this 0, 115, this is the actual episode right here, 115 of The Simpsons, Homer the Great. And the Stonecutters take over this Baskin Robbins, and the whole reason that that intrigues me is that the very first president or leader of the Pilgrim Society. His name was Lord Roberts, and coded with him, not only do you see Master of the Lodge, but Baskin-Robbins ice cream. Okay, and you can go ahead and look through all of the things down below there as well, but see here, and just going through, they're absolutely in the ice cream parlor carrying out business. Alright, now, all of this really bothers me. Now I want you to see here, let's get back and make sure I'm all caught up. So one last thing, since ice cream is also coated with rose, I wanted to just show you this website again from Gnostic Warrior that I showed you numerous times in the past, but it's no longer found. And so fortunately I took some screenshots of it, and you can go ahead and read through here and see the immense importance of the rose symbolism throughout all cultures, throughout all time periods. And again, just looking at the word culture, it literally has the word cult built right into the front of it. But I just want you to see with all of these different societies, the Rosicrucians, the Order of the Rosy Cross, right? The other name for them there, you see the connection here to the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, which we're just talking about with Crowley. Also notice here the Ordo Templi Orientis. All of these heavy-hitting organizations. Now, take a look at the episode here, okay? This is the actual episode. It's called Ice Cream of Margie with the Light Blue Hair. Now, there's surely a ton of stuff to be broken down in that, but I want you to see here that the date that it aired, November 26th, 2006. Very important. So notice the way that it breaks down the 11th month. 2 and 6 is 8. So we take that as 11 times 8 and gives us 88. Right, when we reduce the year, since zeros don't have value, 2 and 6 again is 8. We put that next to this over here, we have the 888, just like we get with the magic bill. It's very, very important to see how this all lines up so neatly. Now let's start unpacking the actual scene here, in which you can see Homer is driving his ice cream truck down the hill. He's trying to get out of gridlock traffic. And on his way, he runs into first an owl. And so the importance of the owl really cannot be overstated. I really like Illuminati Watcher Isaac's work here. So I'm gonna bring you to this page and highly recommend his channel here. But so notice what he's talking about. With the owl depicted as a symbol for wisdom because of its ability to see in the dark, used as a metaphor because it would illuminate darkness of the masses and educate the ignorant. So you see here talking about able to transcend illusions and deception and see the ultimate truths of the world. So this is the first thing that Homer runs into in this ice cream truck, alright, as he's going down. Again, read through this here. And again, you can see all of the connections, the Bohemian Grove ceremony pictures here, where there's absolutely a lot of very interesting stuff to look into. What I thought was great here is he has a bit talking about how Walter Cronkite is actually the one who provides the voice for that. So very interesting stuff. Please check out his site. He does great work. But so now in any case here, I want to keep moving. And so let's make sure we're on the right track here. And the next thing that pops up onto Homer's windshield is this Boy Scout. And so notice all of the things that we have on him here. We have the number 214. We have a golden eagle here. Now, I can't remember if France's flag is inverted of these colors, but whether or not, I know it's those same colors. So there's that for you right there. You also have this X from his handkerchief and this X right here. That's the 66. Immensely important. But why else is 214 so crazy? Well, because I did that whole video talking about Erykah Badu's Hotline Bling and the peculiarity of this cover for it with 214 scrawled, and I did the actual breakdown of all of those numeric values and how they appear. So go back and watch that video. But for now, remember, 2 plus 1 plus 4 equals 7. The number of points on the Seal of Babylon as well as the mark of the beast. So not only is 214 a Dallas area code, But I also want you to see, as I was just saying there, so the hotline bling for Erykah Badu, I just want you to see that the coding for that cellular device, again, we get this 1055, which we can just get down to the 55. But very important here, because you see the English and simple values for cellular device, this 720 and 120. We have Illuminati, as well as the Truth, 44, Architect, Hidden Master, Secret Chiefs, and so on, okay? And 720 and 120 are incredibly important numbers on their own. 72, the number of demons in the Goetia, and also the age of Crowley at his death, as well as John Wayne, interestingly, because he plays Tom Donovan in Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, and 12 because it is the Hanged Man tarot card. Okay, so now notice that cellular device also shares this same coding here as Matthew Brady. This is the man who did the very famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln that appears in Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, and it's also the same as Hic et Ubique. Now remember, this is the motto for the Pilgrim Society, and remember my breakdown of this. And again, this is days ago when I put this video out before this France attack happened, talking about the connection of this society to ice cream and why that is something you should really care about. Now let's keep going here though, because I want you to see as well, and we'll come back to the 4/4s and all that stuff, because there's plenty of them to go around here. But 214 is also the same simple value for I got hot sauce in my bag. Now do remember, this is from Beyonce's Formation song, again a centerpiece for a lot of what I've been talking about in her whole tour that she's on right now, is an ongoing bit that we're looking at here. But notice, conspiracy theory reveals a hidden truth, as well as I'll see you in July, just when this happened, and it's also July 29th and 30th, big dates that I've been looking at here, alright? So you should really be mindful of that. I'm not saying it's an absolute, I'm just saying this is absolutely stunning. Now, one more thing to keep in mind with this 214 here is when we mirror it and add it to itself, it gives us 828. Now this is the same as Pez theory. This is my whole thing that I created for you and showed you how it would be ubiquitous throughout everything. And look, what are the odds that it pops up from this thing right here? And everything. Anyways, let's keep moving. I just want you to see. And be sure, just right now, click like, click subscribe, share this, talk about this, okay? But look, because you have reference here to John F. Kennedy, as well as British Broadcasting Corporation, just these big entities, again, BBC 223, an inverted 322 skull and bones number. But I want you to see the 828, since that's what we're looking at here. You see it's the same as Donald Trump, as well as Clancy Wiggum, who I'm going to show you is burning in the back of all of this, Ralph worshipping him. And remember, Police Chief Wiggum has 666 coding, just like High by the Beach and Formation. But look here, Beyonce Lemonade, Sade Bring Me Home, Master Mason, Behind the 11, number 7, 911 call. All of this reiterating on things that I have just now said to you again. Alright, and again, remember, as I was saying, Trump saying on the 114th anniversary of the Pilgrim Society, July 11th of this year. And remember too, since 828 back here, and we have Beyonce Lemonade, that album came out the 114th day of this year. And you have Trump saying, I'm the law and order candidate. And remember all of the work I've been showing you about this idea of law and order. This is a screenshot from the Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. And again, this painting appears in Lisa the Iconoclast, and this phrase is something that I have really gone above and beyond to break down for you, is the same as the wait is over, which is the flyer from that Erykah Badu and Ricky Smiley show I have tirelessly shown you. Now, since this 214 here comes up the same, sorry, it's just getting a little jumbled there. as this Hotline Bling cover here, I do want you to remember that I showed you this article from Time magazine with Erykah Badu's eye covered there, talking about this remix being released on October 2nd. This is the last day of Beyonce's Formation tour this year, World Formation. It's at Nissan Stadium. It's going to come up again. But notice that this picture that they used is on September 11th, 2015. That's for the Hotline Bling, the cellular device. I mean, that is just too much. Too much. Alright, now let's keep breaking this down though, because you have all of these characters on his window then. And the owl is squinting his left eye, and the bear is squinting his right eye. And then you see here again, the kid pushed up against him here in the brown bear. And the brown bear goes back to his squint. And I have this pause for you here. Take again a look at the golden Nazi eagle on the front of him here, and notice how it actually morphs in this shot and takes on that head. I know you see that. One more time. There's the first shot, and then there's just this still frame right here where it actually gets the profile view that we see on that Reich. Okay, so now very important that this brown bear behind him has his eye closed right the whole time for this. And the symbolism of the bear goes very deep. I'm not going to get into it. Suffice it to say, it's a brown bear. 2-2, okay? And so again, the master builder numbers is the number of trumps in the tarot cards. I've gone into this number so many times, I really don't feel like talking about it again. But notice from the production code here, it is the only actual number that is written out for you there, okay? And again, the day that Kennedy was assassinated back in 1963. It's the age that Aletheus Levi was when Horatio Greeno completed the enthroned Washington statue, okay? 22 is just of such major importance, it's absurd. But so now, in any case, notice that brown bear here, and again, this could represent anything from, if it was Russia, frankly, I think it would be a black bear. Brown bear, I'm thinking California, and so notice the English and simple values, though, for brown bear are the same as Angel of Death, Luciferian, Cootie Rock, Starline, Lizzie, and Montreal. Now, Cootie Rock directed Erykah Badu's Window Seat music video, this one here, where she's shot in Dealey Plaza, a la JFK assassination. And this whole other bit here, the fact that we also get reference to Starline, Lizzie, and Montreal is beyond unnerving, because remember, and again, this is my most recent set of videos with Lana Del Rey, but off of her honeymoon, and I talked about this on my channel last year, that was banned. But on here is Starline Tours, and this is the same thing that we see in the movie Mars Attacks. Again, please go watch my video for a very thorough breakdown on that. It's a 3-part. But so notice here that the reason that Lizzie is so important is this is her like official nickname is Lizzie. And we looked at that extensively. Again, go watch that other video. But it's also, again, Montreal, which is where this Osheaga Festival is taking place. Now, in this previous video, I was talking to you about how these dates don't line up. And remember, Osheaga Festival having the same value as You Can Do It. That is from the trailer. It's one of the scenes in Erykah Badu's movie The Land, coming out the same day that I showed you this was originally bizarre to take place with, right? And again, this right eye of hers covered up, right? Just like this bear here, brown bear having the same coating as Lizzie, that's her nickname. And like I was showing you in that old video though, she had all of this stuff where for some reason it's a festival tour, but only the show in Osheaga had multiple dates displayed for it. Alright, and I even showed you how they had coded it as they were putting it as the 29th, which just didn't make sense to me. It was weird because that's the same day that The Land comes out. Beyonce plays Commerce Bank Arena, all of the things we've talked about. But she was actually playing the 30th is what it turned out. And so again, go back and watch my video on that. I hope I pulled this up for you. I don't have it, but you can see here that it is slated for this July 30th spot now at 10:55 is when it's said to conclude. Now I want to pull cellular device back really quick here because I do want you to see that that Jewish value is 10:55, same as Will Be Done, Vision of Pan, Voice of Satan, all of the things, and again coming back to that 7:20. But now again, this is so very important because they changed the dates right after I made the videos. That's why I took these screenshots again to show you here. But check it out right now. Go to Lana Del Rey's website and it won't look like this anymore. This isn't next to it anymore. It just says Osheaga. And now when you click on this, you can't find this nice picture of her covering her right eye. Again, with the hidden V right here, the Hail to Apophis or Typhoon. Alright, you won't find any of that anymore. Go check it out. I didn't have, right, all of these tabs open. Or it looks like I might have one of them for you. I really do want you to see this because this is very important. They changed these things after, there we go. Right? Switch this all up on me. Change this. But do not be fooled. Do not be fooled. Alright, and so again, if I can just pull up Osheaga Festival for you. And just so that you can see here, these values, understanding, liber al vel legis. Now this is the Latin phrasing for the book of the law. Now you also see forehead to be sealed. Now in this same episode, Ralph smashes an ice cream into his forehead instead of the right eye. Very important. Again, I'm going to talk about that in the next set of videos because this is right in the middle of a lot of other things. Now notice as well this very important 555, the height of the Washington Monument, something I've talked about immensely. You see it's also the same as U.S. President and the phrase, the word abrahadabra. So there you have it, right? All of that connected. And you see Electoral College in here as well. And something I'm going to talk about in the next video here is that it's bizarre to me that this is not only going to be the 58-year anniversary of NASA, also on July 29th here, but it's also the 58th quadrennial presidential elections. So very interesting that we have those two things. They're 103 days apart. I'm going to talk about all of that. But see how all of that lines up right there, okay? And so Osheaga Festival is in Montreal, if you didn't put that together yet. So you see how Brown Bear being right in front there is very, very unnerving, okay? So now what I want to do here is I want to pull up, this is a screenshot. I don't know, usually when I try to show you Legends of Light clips on here, they're always blurred out on you, but I just want to show you very quickly the 5 times 88 is 440. So look at that. But so that's great. And I want you to see, because I have this pulled up, because it just so happens that the writer for this episode, Carolyn O'Mine, wrote this other episode I happen to look into as well. But now notice 440 here, you do get reference to Antichrist as well as another false flag, shed blood for man, as well as the Annihilation and National Emergency Management Administration. Now remember, the acronym for that is NEMA, which is the word Amen backwards, which is also an anagram for name. And remember that Amen is said to be the word, so incredibly important. And I showed you a lot of information on that organization as well. So now with that, and do remember too that 440, that is the same coding that we get for LaShawn Thomas here. Okay, so all of those things that we were talking about, the 135 coming up, how that's connected to terrorism, Ralph Wiggum, okay, if I just pull up this 810 135 for you, so you can see Ralph Wiggum, the I Slay remix, this is Beyonce's Formation, but again, on and on and on. So let's get back now to the slides from this. And so again, you see Homer just mowing over this crowd of people, man laying in the road, everybody just running for their lives. Now check this out, because I talk about coffee on here pretty often because the first commercial after Kennedy was assassinated was for Nestle Nescafe. NN, that's 55. And of all the things to fly past Homer when he's mowing everybody down, a cup of coffee is one of them. And so you just see here all of the destruction that's going through, everybody running, getting ran over. The next one that comes through, you do notice it is a glass of red wine, obviously to be connected to the idea of blood being spilled, being driven there. Now keep going here. You see how he runs that all down. And let's pull this back for you. So caution children, what it says on the back of his car, CC, that's 33. There's 13 letters in those two words, so that's the death card. You do see the coding, skull and bones, the Simpsons, and undeniable proof. Down below, the 666, 33, as above, so below. I want you to see the numbers 978 come up in this. Now this is important because it gives us the same value as so long TWSS. Now remember, that's what she said. That's from this So Long video. Remember, this original song is 7 minutes, 29 seconds. Badu is covering her right eye. It's the last trumpet for you there. Okay, you see the tweet talking about this. The video called So Long, released the same day that the UK leaves the European Union. Alright, here's for the 33 and the formula of Henry for those of you not familiar with these concepts, the double-headed eagle, so on and so forth there. Something to absolutely look into. But so again, notice here for So Long, TWSS, Nissan Stadium comes up, which as I said, is where Beyonce is playing her last show. Mayor Eric Hogue is a great friend of David Copperfield. He's the mayor of Wiley, Texas, and he was the one who really made a push to get the magic bill in action. You see Jebediah Springfield, the fraudulent founder. You see Barack Hussein Obama, final Antichrist, rise to power, Barack Obama head wound. Now look at this, because you get the numbers 878. I'm going to show you that in a second. But see here for TWSS, since it's saying so long to that, you see the English and simples are the blood, ritual, hermetic, wizard, tower, and Horus, okay? All directly connected to this abracadabra notion. Now 878 is the same Jewish value as Elizabeth Grant. This is Lana Del Rey's real name. It is also the same as Commerce Bank Arena, where Beyonce is playing on the 29th of this month. 729, 720. It's such a massive number. Notice Elizabeth Grant, English and simples. The English is the 888. The path of none is the path of death. Alright, and so again for Commerce Bank Arena, remember it's 94 days into her tour, 3 months, 3 days, 33. Big day. Alright, so now let's get back to the images here. I want to start to try to wrap things up for you a little bit. Again, you have all of this carnage and mayhem. I'm going to talk a lot more about Lenny and Carl in the not too distant future here. But so, let's just get on the same page here. This was called People from the Sticks. And before I show you this last bit here, with Ralph worshipping the fallen police chief Wiggum, I want you to see that People from the Sticks absolutely has this endless loop on it. Alright, so I'll show you some of these things up top here in just a second. Well, martyrs, all of that. But you see this 666, 235, 141, repeating the gold egg of the Aeon of Man. Again, again, again. That's all that it does throughout there. All of those 666s. Just like this right here, you see People from the Sticks, entirely false. Tell me the truth. Satanic energy, emergency alert, and global destruction. Now, this infinite repeating loop down here is the same as We Are 138, which is the lead song off of this Misfits Bullet EP. again, which I've talked about endlessly, but with JFK getting his brains blown out, something I cannot overstate the importance of enough and its connection to all of this, okay? Even notice people from the sticks, the Jewish value backwards is 187, right? Police code for homicide. On and on and on, you guys. So now, last bit here. The writer for this episode, Carolyn O'Mine, 3-6, from her initials there, CO 3-6. You see Zionism, Illuminati bloodlines, as well as CERN, the Large Hadron Collider, and the Qliphoth Manifested. That is to say, the negative, deadly energy manifested. You see her English and symbols are the same as Trauma Room 1 and Control Freak. Trauma Room 1 is where JFK was pronounced dead. Control Freak is Erykah Badu's record label. As I stated earlier, 144 is the episode number for Lisa the Iconoclast. Again, 1 times 44, 44. Could break it all the way down and get this 777. Take, again, this is Pez theory on the right here. It is amazing stuff. Alright, amazing stuff. Look at Iconoclast, right? Because it has that 666 value, which is the same as Chief Wiggum, the same as Formation, right? The same as Save the Bees, which is on the front of the Control Freak, right? But so now notice again the inverted 441. This is the same as Tom Donovan. Again, the man who actually shot Liberty Valance, and I'll show you the pictures in a minute here, but you see forehead to be sealed, MK Ultra, kill and not be seen. On and on and on, and you see again here this 858. Now look down below here for the actual coding for 864 and 144. Mark of the Beast, 44, the secret key, Satanic hexagram. Notice for Tom Donovan, his English and symbols, the hexagram name. And remember, the hexagram is said to be the true symbol of evil practice. Now, I want you to see here, you also have reference to the numbers 612. Now, this is very important because these are the numbers for Michael Price. Michael Price is the man who wrote the Simpsons episode where Ralph becomes mayor of Springfield. And notice that 102, again, thinking to October 2nd, Beyonce's last day of her tour. And since I'm here, this 612 also shares the same values as Foreign Man. Again, from Del Rey's Salvatore song, she says, dying by the hand of a foreign man, happily. Alright, and so again, I advise you to go look at that. But here's this 612 again in a cup of coffee. And as I'm saying, not only just the extraordinarily unlikely occurrence of this situation, an ice cream truck running through a crowd of people, but then this cup of coffee coming through, and how I'm just showing you that all of these pieces are absolutely on the table here. Alright, and with that you do see reference to murderer, lie after lie, New Balance, 111. And remember, as I've been showing you, that is the same value as the 666. Alright, so if I pull this up for you, High by the Beach, remember released August 10th, 810, just like Ralph Wiggum, but it has the same ES, the 666, 111 as Formation, Iconoclast, Chief Wiggum, Hotline Badu. Alright, again, that is off of the cover of this right here, Hotline Badu. 10-2, 10, you can't miss it. The same date that she was interviewed on Time Magazine for a remix. Time Magazine. Alright, so just these last couple of images here for you. Yeah, so one last bit here. 170. Because that comes up in Carolyn O'Mine, again, the writer here. And so 170 is important because it is the simple value for quite a few things, but 642 which are the numbers in the magic bill, okay, as discussed in the beginning here. So you see reference to the devil incarnate, the Church of Satan, as well as divine bloodlines, World War III. You get reference to 74, which is very important because the simple value of 74 has an English value of 444. And you see with that things such as killing, the key, occult, okay, on and on and on. These ideas of dualism, reference to Barak's death, okay, spirit of life, open third eye. All of these things, okay, and again at the end here, Ralph paying homage to the fallen Chief Wiggum, and they do move him quite a bit to get him into this, this kneeling position here. I don't know that I have, so yeah, we've got this one here. So you notice originally when Ralph's hugging him, and he's over here, but then you notice as Marge and Homer are walking towards the door, he shifts a bit, on, and kneeling down to Wiggum there. And do remember everything that we've talked about with Chief Wiggum. And I want to show you as well, because Whacking Day has come up so much, and just I feel like people really dismiss all of this stuff. The Whacking Day coding, so on and so forth, and the dog has fleas. So remember from Whacking Day here, when Bart is getting his lesson in the garage, the clock starts 9, and again these black and white colors, the Masons, duality, all of that. You have this 9, 1 and 2 is 3, it's a 93, alright? Otherwise, it goes from 9 to 11, 9, 11, alright? And again, another master number here, 1 and 2 is 3, 11 times 3, 33, alright? And even if you do the 1 times 1, get the 1, this is 3, you either have 13 for the death card or inverted 31 for the Book of the Law in relation to the adjustment card. Alright, and if you add 13 and 31, you get 44, which is what Bart happens to be writing after he's learning his lesson there. So now notice all of the things that the dog has fleas is in common with. Rosicrucian, non-servium. I'm sorry I skipped that a little bit, but so there's that for you, so you can see it there. But again, what Satan was said to say to God, the path of Mem. Okay, this gets back to the Hanged Man tarot card. That's the Mem path. You see Black Skeleton. This is the Death card. Just like this 13 here when we drop the silence at the end. Remember, 78 is the number of cards in the tarot deck. When you add it, you get that 15. Notice that Washington is a 10-letter word that starts with the 23rd letter. 10 and 23 is 33. Alright, if you reduce the W to 5 and add it to 10, it's 15. The Devil card. You see how it just comes back again and again and again. And remember what I showed you with this dog has fleas being an anagram, not only having the same coding as Lana Del Rey, Amen, extraordinarily important, but that is an anagram for gashed self, oath, which is a direct reference to the Book of Lies, chapter 44. And again, that's then the importance of Bart writing this directly after seeing that. And again, Barack Obama is the 44th president. 4 times 4 is 16. This is 2016. The Tower card. For there are love and love. Again, the key concepts of this in Book of Thoth having to do with the ideas of disavowing from the ideas of love that are traditionally upheld. Alright, and so now it's just a little jumbled here all at the end. But all of these things here, since we were tying him in with Carolyn O'Mine, the 441 here, not only is it Tom Doniphan's coding there, but it is also the actual length of the song Salvatore. And so again, you can look into all of that much further here. But so now if I take you back through here, this is Lana Del Rey with the right eye again in front of the American flag. Alright, and so do you remember Lisa the Iconoclast episode 144 starts with the end over the American flag. The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance ends with the railroad and the end. And do remember Tom Donovan shooting from the side in front of the general store here. And all of the things that we've talked about and the immense importance there. Alright, so again, I don't know, but I think it's very compelling to say the least. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. And as I say, I really do feel like things are only going to get increasingly more unstable as we move forward towards this 7/29 day here. And do remember, even, I don't have this screenshot pulled up, but I have it in a ton of videos, mass meeting elections, this is what is behind Liberty Valance when he is shot. The Jewish value is 7/29. The last day, great bloodlust, guns and bullets, symbol of Ra. Alright, down below, Illuminati bloodlines, truth behind the scenes. All of the things it shares in common that I look into. Okay, that 102 reference that you see there. On and on and on, you guys. The 115 from earlier in the beginning of the video, same as, look at all this, John Wayne, Law and Order, A New World. This is the actual motto for the 2016 Olympics in the Zika-ridden Rio de Janeiro. Alright, Freemasons, blood work, Twitter, something that will undoubtedly play a role in Trump being assassinated. But so just consider all that. Please watch my other videos, and please know that there is so much to be said about this research. So thank you again for watching, everybody, and please, please be well.